This is the top 3 things which I never ride without. Right now, before I get started, I just need some of your advice actually for people who have had one or more bikes in the past. And what it is, I'm thinking of getting a second bike at some point this year. I'm not quite sure how to do the whole insurance thing. So what have you guys done before? I mean, what I'm probably going to do is just to get a separate policy for it, rather than lumping it onto the one that I've got now, or you know, taking the NC off of the insurance and then putting the new one on. I want to try and keep both bikes running, really. Have you got more than one bike? And if you have, how do you do it? And as I say, it's not just the insurance thing. Any advice that you can give me would be super. Okay, so next up, I just want to say, give it a bit of a shout out, they call it, don't they? I hate calling it a shout out, but that is kind of what it is. To a chap in Weston-super-Mare who's quite new on the scene, and he's working really hard to get his channel off the ground, and he does some interesting topics, and he's also got a new bike, ironically, which I'm really jealous about, because it's a heck of a bike.
The handling is absolutely gorgeous, and I know I'm not pushing it. I mean, I'm stuck behind a smart card, but it just feels so planted and, you know, easy to manoeuvre.
But yeah, he's working really hard, so do have a look at his stuff and drop him a sub. Next up is the top 3 things which I never travel without. And it is literally 3 things actually, which I think everybody should travel with if you can. Now obviously I've got the NC, so I'm very lucky. I got my frunk here. I do often travel with a top box as well. I think it's important to carry these objects. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find somewhere nice to park up, and then I will show you what's in my frunk. It's where Pottermore House is down here, which is allegedly haunted, which my mate Saddlebags and Supermoto Western Motovlogs, I can't remember the name now, sorry mate, has recently done some topics on. So we'll pop down there and have a look. First of all, it's not really my thing or that sort of thing. I need to see something like that to believe it, so to speak. But I do believe that anything is possible. So I'm certainly not cancelling it out. There it is over there actually. Looks like they're still doing something to it. Looks like there's going to be a cafe there. Let's chuck her in neutral. Right. So, just show you how the ACF 50 has made my bike come out. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? If you haven't seen how I quickly wash my bike video, then might be worth a look. I'll put a card up in the top corner. Right, so let's show you what's in here, which I never travel without. What have we got then? Woo! First one is the puncture repair kit. Nothing worse than wanting to go home or needing to go somewhere, or when you're travelling or whatever and you've got a flat tyre. Nothing worse. It is so irritating. Yeah, so that's one thing which I always carry in my frunk. That's what you call the storage compartment on the NC750X. Next really important thing is the first aid kit. This isn't for me particularly. I'm thinking of other people. If I'm on a ride out with somebody and something happens, I can't think of anything worse than, you know, stood on the side of the road and there's nothing I can do, you know, or I haven't got any tools or any bandages or whatever to help that person out. That'd be just like my worst nightmare, really. I'd be panicking enough as it is, let alone not having any, you know, first aid kit to do. So that's another thing which I think, you know, is always worth having if you've got room for it in your backpack or back box. You know, you can even put it under the seat on some bikes, can't you? So yeah, I never ever travel without that. Obviously I've got my toolkit in there as well, which can get you out of trouble. And the most important thing, this is debatable really, isn't it, whether the first aid is the most important thing, is that I'm not on about the YouTube exeter-rider sticker, but my phone these days, obviously, you can contact the emergency services pretty much anywhere now, can't you, with satellites and things like that. And yeah, contact people, take photos. If you're lost, it can, generally speaking, get you out of trouble. But till next week, Friday at 1 PM, thank you very much for joining me once again, and I will see you next week for another video. Who knows what it'll be on this channel. It's like a box of chocolates here, and that's the way I like it, and I hope you like it like that as well. Thanks guys, have a good week. Look at that sun up there, look. I just thought I'd quickly show you that as well. That's a pretty sight, isn't it? It's amazing to think what's out there, isn't it? Space. Brilliant.